Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuzz here, and welcome to a new video. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. In this video, we're going to talk about 10 amazing RuneScape 3 tips and tricks. So most of these tips and tricks are going to be, related to PVM, getting better at PVM and things you can do that kind of can increase your quality of life and just make it a little bit easier. But some of these will have to do with like some random things like money making and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure to subscribe, as over 70% of you aren't subscribed, so let's see if we can hit 35k subscribers anytime soon. Make sure to like the video to get it out to more people, and let's get into this. So the first thing I want to talk about is one that I have mentioned before, but it is so important, it has helped so many of you that I felt remiss if I did not mention it again, and that is the RuneScape game view. So if you go into RuneScape, hey, I can kind of see on, I can see my game, obviously, but there's something about it that you might not know. So if you have an interface essentially set up around your screen, that interface might be actually blocking some of your view and hampering you when you're doing bosses. So for instance, if you move your inventory out of the way, is there interface behind that? If so, that's an area on the interface on the world that you cannot click, because you can't click through your interface obviously, and that you cannot see. At places like Archglacier, where you kind of need to see the whole arena, there's actually a way to fix this so you can have your entire interface still there, but also see your entire game view and see every single thing on the screen. So to do this, you need to go to the edit layout mode, and then you need to go to the game view section. So once you're in this, you check this box, and then you can kind of drag around your game view. And what you want to do is you want to drag your game view so it's not behind any of your interface. If you do this, now you still have all your interface here, and then you have the game view. Now if you don't like how it looks, maybe you have transparent interface, you will be able to see like the black behind it. If you don't like that, just change it to the solid color interface like I have, and there you go. Now I can see my entire game view, everything on the screen. I'm not missing out on anything behind the interface, but I still have my entire interface and everything I like. So next I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people sleep on, but it actually can help you quite a bit and can save that hassle of trying to learn a new boss. A lot of you jump right into a new boss, you die, you get frustrated, but what you should really be doing is going into practice mode. This is going to allow you to try the boss without the fear. If you die, it doesn't really matter. You keep all your items, you don't lose any money. This is what I did when I first started learning Raksha on release. I did do the practice mode. You will not get loot if you get the kill, but however, you can wait till you're comfortable enough, you know the boss enough, and then you can go into normal mode. The only thing I wish that practice mode had, which Jagex, if you are listening, or if you guys want to tweet at Jagex or something, the one thing practice mode needs a way for you to choose certain phases on certain bosses. So for instance, if I want to practice the last phase of Raksha, let me go in, choose practice mode, and practice that phase. I mean, it's not like I'm getting loot anyway, so why can't I go in and practice the specific phases I need? It's the same for stuff like Virago or Telos. It would have been amazing to be able to practice phase 5 of Telos for the first time, or phase 4 without having to get all the way there myself. I think this would be a great way. I'm not really sure if it can be added in, but it doesn't seem like it'd be harmful in any way. It would just allow people to kind of skip to the phase they're struggling with, having trouble with, without having to do the whole thing over and over again. And I think it would make practice mode a little more appealing. So the next trick has to do with vulnerability bombs. Now if you're using vulnerability bombs, they actually added in a change to make them a lot easier to use, but I'll show you how to do this. So essentially when you drag vulnerability bombs to your action bar, to a keybind, you'll have an option to use the default setting or the target setting. Now if you choose the default setting, this is what they added in as a little fix, and what this essentially does is it allows you to essentially just while you're attacking a monster, click the keybind. So if your keybind like me is O, you click O and it will automatically vulnerability bomb the boss. It makes it really nice to just, use it. You don't really have to think too much. It's just like using any other ability, which is really, really nice that they added that in. But if you're somebody who doesn't want to use that, or you like the old method, it took me a while to figure out how do I switch back to the old method of, choosing on the ground where I throw my ability. where I throw my vulnerability bomb. To do this, you essentially just need to drag off your vulnerability bomb off your action bar, so drag it off, and then you want to drag it back on and it'll give you that option again. So if you don't like one of these options, you can drag it off and drag it back on and then choose again. This gives you a nice choice of how you want to throw your vulnerability bomb. I like the old method, I'm just so used to it by now, but the newer method, the default method, is actually pretty nice. So if you're somebody that PVMs and you eat a lot of food and you find yourself running out of adrenaline a lot, something like blue blubber jellyfish or any sort of jellyfish can really help you out. So this is something that I personally need to do more of. If you're at a boss and you're eating stuff like sailfish, you're going to lose adrenaline for that. You might not have known that, but you actually do. So using something like jellyfish, blue blubber jellyfish, when you eat it, it does give you less HP than like a sailfish per bite, but what it does do is it does not drain your adrenaline at all. So you can also use this along with other food and other, like Cerato and Brews, because it doesn't have a cooldown with that. So you can use like a sailfish and a blubber and a brew. Doesn't share a cooldown at all. So that is really nice. And then there's also something called the expensive spices necklace, which you can get after the Let Them Eat Pie quest. And it actually allows you to give an extra 50 life points restored for each piece of food you eat. So if you couple this with like blue blubber jellyfish, that means each bite is going to heal 800 life points instead of healing 750. So that means each blue blubber jellyfish is going to heal you 2400 life points. So that is a nice option as well. So I wanted to talk about a way you can actually get a free tier 70 weapon in RuneScape 3, and this is not like having much requirements. Like, it's not like getting the runic staff that you need to do rune span for. This is much simpler. So all you need to do is essentially have oddments. So you'll need to have spun your daily keys once and converted them to oddments. You want to go to the marketplace and you want to go to the oddments section. Now once you're here, you'll see like keys and stuff. You're going to want to scroll down and go to the other section. Now once you're here, you want to move over and you'll be able to see there's a few things here, and I actually own them already, but the main one you're looking for is the 3 Imcondo things. So you have the Imcondo axe, Imcondo channeling rod, and an Imcondo pistol. So if you look here, I actually have all 3 in my inventory, so these only cost 100 oddments. And if you look here for the Imcondo axe, you can actually change the levels. So you can start using this at level 1, then level 20, 40, 60, 70. And what you also can do is click generate offhand, and you have to pay 100k for it. So it does cost something. But then look, I have a tier 70 main hand and offhand dual wield melee. And you can essentially do the same here for mage. You can do this, and there we have a tier 70 wand and orb. So essentially, this is a great thing. You can also do this with the pistol. I guess I'll just show you here, generate the offhand, and there we go, dual wield tier 70 range. So if you're somebody who doesn't have chaotics yet, or you're just starting out, you don't have much money, this is such an easy way to get up to a tier 70 weapon in every single style. So make sure you take advantage of this. Hopefully they don't take it away anytime soon. It's been there for a little bit, but I thought this was a great tip that I should mention. So next I wanted to talk about a general use of an item that can help you quite a bit at certain places, and that is penance powder. So what penance powder does is essentially you use it and it will restore prayer points, sort of like the penance aura, as you are damaged. But the nice thing is you can use your regular auras and everything. So this is very useful at places you're going to get hit a ton. So it's not worth using at a place that you're going to be, dealing a ton of damage and not really taking any. You need to use this at kind of the tougher bosses. And if you're somebody that struggles doing multiple things at once, so if you find yourself running out of prayer a lot while you're trying to learn a new boss because you just got so much going on, whether it's the new mechanics or anything else, using penance powder, although it is kind of expensive, especially if you're learning a boss and you're not getting many kills, it definitely can be quite expensive. But the reason you would use it is because it essentially can kind of, help you have one less thing to focus on. So you can still use your damaging aura, but if you know your prayer is essentially going to stay up at all times, if you're doing a harder boss like Zammy, Archglazer, things like that, you're going to get hit quite a bit, and you're really not going to have to drink prayer at all using penance powder. This can be nice to just kind of allow you to focus more on learning the boss rather than focusing on your prayer. Something else I wanted to show is actually having to do with bank space. Now, my bank is not a great example because I have so much junk in here. So my bank is not clean at all, but we all know having a clean bank is super nice. It's a really nice feeling. And if you go down here in your bank to the filters, you can actually click the cleanup filter. And what this does is it shows you items that you can essentially get rid of. So up here it has holiday items, and you can just quickly destroy these and then go get them back. You have skilling outfits, which again, you can destroy some of these. As you can see, you could just one click destroy, and then you can claim these again if you want. If it is going to cost money to get back, you can it'll give you a thing and say, hey, this is gonna cost this much. And then there's other things that you can destroy as well with this filter. And if you didn't know, down here you can actually click the more storage button, and you can view things like your metal bank from your bank. You can also view stuff like Diego's holiday items, like the items you basically went and just destroyed. You can get them back very quickly from here. You don't have to go to Drainer Village or anything. And then honestly, you can also go and access the costume room of your house if you have one. So if you have a place to put like your capes and stuff, you can withdraw your capes, put them back in, stuff like that, your cape rack. You can also look at all the other stuff like if you have, a magic wardrobe, basically anything in your player owned house, you can use this drop down menu to look at, store, and take things out. So pretty nice quality of life here for the bank, some little settings you might not know about. Now I wanted to show you something that is very useful for PVMing that I think everyone should have at least some version of, and that is a preset for bonfiring, for setting up for PVM. So you can see here I have a ton of different items here, and this preset actually can help you a ton. You can see I also have some armor and equipment, which I'll get into. So let's load this preset. I might be missing a few things. Well, it says that I am, but I just have a little less of them in my bank. So in here I have things like incense sticks. I have all the pouches I could ever need, the scrolls for those pouches. I have runes, my rune pouch to fill them up. I have my equipment. My Pernix quiver didn't come out, but that should be in here too. And I can add my ammo to my Pernix quiver. Essentially, before you boss, you can come here, use all your incense sticks, fill up your books that you're using, fill up your quiver, fill up your rune pouch, get everything ready. And then the reason we actually have this tank armor, you can use Acto. Acto is better, but you want armor with life bonuses, and then you can essentially bonfire and get more health. As you can see, we're 12.4k health. This will make our bonfire boost a little bit bigger here since we have all this tank equipment on. So that is essentially what this bonfire preset is. The one in my bank is the one that is accurate here. I will show you because for some reason some of the stuff didn't come out, but this is what I have in mind. You can feel free to copy that or do kind of a twist on it if you'd like. Also have divine charges here to top off my invention charges. So yeah, this is very useful. I think everybody should be using this when it comes to PVM, and I hadn't made one for quite a while, so I'm happy I finally made this, and it has made stuff a lot nicer. So next, I wanted to give a quick mention to the Lorehound pet. You can get this from May's Quest Caravan. I have talked about her caravan before and how you can get some nice loot there, but I haven't talked about the Lorehound pet. So the Lorehound pet actually can be unlocked just initially for 25 points on her track, essentially 25 quest points. But to get the thing we're talking about, you need 125 quest points allocated towards its track. And what this does is if you have the Lorehound and you have him active, your loot range, so your area loot, is going to increase from 7x7 to 9x9. So it's going to increase your area loot by quite a lot, and this is going to make it so you'll be able to loot a further distance. This can be extremely useful for things if you're doing Slayer, or if you're doing a money making method that requires you to pick up a lot of stuff off the ground. This is going to be so nice, and it also increases the area loot on mobile as well. So you can have just this huge area loot that's going to allow you to pick up stuff much easier. So I wanted to mention the Lorehound here quickly because I think it's a very good thing to have for certain scenarios. Now finally, I wanted to mention Shattered World masks. Now these masks are actually super useful. because if you're doing Slayer, they can actually allow you to get double drops. Now, these are essentially gotten from Shattered Worlds. For instance, the Mask of the Abyss is like 135 million anima, and when you wear this, it does provide the bonus of the Slayer helm, so you don't have to worry about that. And the really nice thing about these masks is a lot of them have the benefit that essentially while you're killing the Slayer creature, so for example, Abyssal Demons, if you wear the mask, you'll get a double drop guaranteed every 10th kill. So this essentially is giving you 10% more money, because every 10th kill you're getting double the loot. And this is especially useful and fun for things like the Abyssal Lords, where you can get the rare Abyssal Scourge, and that's like 200 plus mil, but if you get it doubled, that's a lot of money. So you can also use this, I believe, at Dagonoth Kings too, to essentially possibly get double rings and stuff like that. So do not sleep on the Slayer masks. You can get them pretty easily from Shattered Worlds, and they do go into a different mask once you kill a certain amount. So once you kill, I believe, 900 Abyssal Demons with it, or Abyssal Lords if that's what you're doing, these will essentially be transformed into a mask that doesn't give you double drops every 10th kill, but you can use something called the Spirit of the Battle that you can also buy at Shattered Worlds to reset this and keep using it for the double drops again. So as long as you use Shattered Worlds, you can keep using these for double drops for the certain creatures, and they're definitely worth using. So I did want to mention that. If these tips helped you out at all, make sure to hit that like button, as it helps get the video out to so many more people and we can try to help out everyone. Subscribe if you want more RuneScape content uploaded weekly, and thank you guys for all the support, and hope you had a good Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video.